We begin CBS 2 News at 5 with breaking news. Just a short time ago, CBS Corporation announced a settlement under which Chairman and CEO Leslie Moonves has agreed to resign from the company he has led for more than 2 decades.
This comes as new allegations of sexual misconduct and harassment came to light in a New Yorker magazine article published today. 6 more women came forward with accusations of misconduct against Moonves. In total, 12 women have now come forward. As part of a settlement announced in just the past 20 minutes, CBS and Moonves will donate $20 million to one or more organizations that support the Me Too movement and equality for women in the workplace. The donation, which will be made immediately, has been deducted from any severance benefits that Moonves may get. But those severance benefits will not be given to Moonves until an ongoing independent investigation into allegations of sexual misconduct is complete.
As for the future of CBS, the settlement also includes an agreement with National Amusements, the controlling shareholder of both CBS and Viacom. Under the agreement, all sides have dropped lawsuits over National Amusements' controlling stake, and National Amusements agreed it has no plans to propose a merger of CBS and Viacom and won't make that proposal for at least another 2 years. We are working on all the details and what it will mean for CBS, and we will bring you more on CBS 2 News at 6. And we move to more breaking news. A brush fire in Glendora. Sky 2 is live over the scene. Hundreds of campers are being evacuated from the area.
The fast-moving fire is burning along Highway 39 in the Angeles National Forest. The fire scorched some 60 acres and is 0% contained. CBS 2's Desmond Shaw is in Sky 2 with more. Desmond.
Yeah, happy to report here they're making fantastic progress on the fire now. You just saw one of the choppers here from CAL FIRE. They're out here along with LA County Fire. We are in San Gabriel Canyon right at East Fork Road. This is the area where it looks like it broke out down to just kind of judging from how this fire moved. It looks like it may have started in this area and then jumped over the highway, climbed the hillside. This has been a terrain-driven fire, not a wind-driven fire. That's definitely some good news because it gave the fire agencies a lot more of an opportunity to corral this fire. Now, I'll show you here. We can kind of see some of the fog check there on the hillside. They were able to surround the hillside, 3 sides of it here, and kind of close the fire in. Burned about 75 acres, and I'll zoom out. You can see at this point, the fire is essentially kind of a mop-up operation, not really even seeing any open flame or any hot spots at this point. So it looks like they're getting a fantastic a handle on this fire, which has been burning since about noon today in the Angeles National Forest. Live at Sky 2 overhead, I'm Desmond Shaw. Send it back to you now in the studio.
Okay, thanks, Desmond. And that's just one of a few fires burning in Southern California today. We're right in the middle of fire season, and there are high temperatures.
CBS 2's Adriana Weingold is live now in Lancaster, where firefighters hit a brush fire with all they've got. Adriana.
Well, it is extremely hot and windy out here, certainly difficult conditions for firefighters. Still, they managed to get a handle on this fire pretty quickly. Take a look behind me. You can see the burned out hillside here. And if you look at the bottom of that fire line right up against that home, that is actually the ranch owner's home. And he says he's just thankful that it is still standing this evening. 219 acres of blackened hillside in Lancaster after a grass fire quickly spread into a full-blown brush fire. LA County Fire Inspector Gustavo Medina says given the high fire danger, crews were ready to mobilize at a moment's notice.
It's brush season all year long here in Southern California. We had a large aerial assault doing numerous water drops on this fire, and that really helped from this fire from spreading even more.
The fire tore through this wildlife habitat, part of the Antelope Valley Nature Conservancy and Sportsman's Club. Dave Whiteside has owned this property since the 70s and says he's never had a fire like this one.
Those plants, they feed the quail and the wildlife, the rabbits and the quail, and they've just been devastated. And the water source has been destroyed.
Despite the intense heat and strong winds, firefighters still managed to put out the flames within a couple of hours, stopping the fire before it damaged any structures on Whiteside's ranch.
Thank God the LA County Fire Department is so doggone good. They saved this place.
Just last week, Fire Chief Darrell Osby held a news conference urging homeowners to prepare for wildfires, saying this year has the potential to be extreme, something Whiteside said he's well aware of and makes him even more thankful this fire was stopped before it destroyed his home. And a handful of crews will stay here on scene throughout the night to keep an eye on any hot spots. The cause of the fire is still under investigation. We are live in Lancaster. Adriana Weingold, CBS 2 News.
Thank you, Adriana. Now check out Santa Monica Pier. It's busy, right? It looks nice and warm out there. It's been a hot, dry weekend overall, but will firefighters get a break this week? Let's go to meteorologist Amber Lee with the conditions and a quick check of our forecast. Amber.
Hi, Suzanne. Hi, Crystal. So you saw Santa Monica. What a difference a day makes. Yesterday, they were socked in with all that cloud cover, very gray. A different story today. They finally saw some sunshine, but you can see temperatures still stayed well above average today because of that high pressure system, but probably not as many triple digits as what we saw yesterday. So Chino came in at 105 today, Lake Elsinore 104, San Bernardino 102, and you can see we had 100 degrees for Palmdale, Ontario, and also Riverside. For downtown LA, we're topping out in the upper 80s today. Normally we should be at 84. So again, definitely much warmer today than yesterday in some spots. Sun going down at 7:08, and this is what it feels like outside. Temperatures are still pretty warm. We're looking at a mix of 70s, 80s, and 90s, but will this warming trend stick around for the new week? I'll have more on that coming up. Back to you.
Okay, thanks, Amber. Firefighters made progress against the Delta fire burning near the Oregon border. It's now 5% contained.
But a large stretch of I-5 is still closed in both directions between the cities of Redding and Weed. No word on when it will reopen, and that is what's causing a massive headache for truckers.
And the 5 is the main artery between California and the Pacific Northwest. Now trucks have to go 100 miles out of their way, then crawl through bumper-to-bumper traffic on a narrow, winding road. Some hauling perishables say their loads have already spoiled. The fire now burned almost 41,000 acres.
Breaking news in Hacienda Heights, where a car crashed into a home. Sky 2 over the scene in the 14,900 block of East Clark Avenue. 3 people were hurt, 2 of them seriously. Police are investigating the cause of the accident. And 2 people died in a head-on crash in La Cañada Flint Ridge.
A wrong-way driver slammed into another car on the 210 freeway. CBS 2's Joy Benedict has more from the scene.
It was a heartbreaking morning along the 210 freeway after a head-on collision cost 2 young men their lives. It happened over here in the westbound lanes behind me. This is near the exit to Angeles Crest Highway. It happened around 2:30 this morning, and although traffic is moving now, those westbound lanes were shut down for more than 4 hours. And this is why. This was the scene early this morning after those cars collided. The front end of this vehicle is completely smashed in, an indicator of just how fast the drivers were going. Now, the mother of one of those drivers, 24-year-old Bruce Alvarenga, tells me her son was an Uber driver and he had just dropped off a passenger and was heading home to Panorama City. She says officers tell her that the second driver, Kavor Kamasian, somehow made his way onto the 210 freeway and was driving east in the westbound lanes when his car struck her son's. Both drivers died. The CHP is unsure exactly where the wrong-way driver entered the freeway, but investigators tell me they got a call reporting the wrong-way driver, and before they could get to him, they got a second call about the crash. As for what happens now, the accident remains under investigation and the grieving is just beginning. The Alvarenga family not quite ready to speak on camera about their son as they're just starting to process his loss. From La Cañada Flint Ridge, I'm Joy Benedict, CBS 2 News.
This afternoon, an Uber spokesperson gave us this statement. It said, "We are deeply saddened to hear about this horrible accident, and our hearts go out to Bruce's family during this tragic time."
President Donald Trump and his aides continue to push back against depictions of chaos in the White House.
CBS 2's DeMarco Morgan has more on how the people in the president's inner circle are defending their boss.
Senior White House officials dispute the idea that there are widespread doubts within the administration about President Trump's leadership.
Whoever wrote that editorial and the narrative that comes out of some other writings recently just doesn't know what really happens in this White House. I've seen this president in action. Is he demanding? Yes. Is he a strong leader who expects things done yesterday? Yes.
On Sunday, Vice President Mike Pence dismissed the notion of a White House in chaos. He was responding to claims made in a new book by journalist Bob Woodward and a scathing anonymous New York Times op-ed. Face Nation host Margaret Brennan asked Pence if he thought one of his aides could have written the op-ed. The vice president said he didn't even ask them about it.
I know their character. I know their dedication. And I am absolutely confident that No one on the vice president's staff had anything to do with this.
Presidential counselor Kellyanne Conway questioned why an anonymous official's thoughts have been given such prominence.
As long as the message is anti-Trump, it seems the messenger has credibility. That should concern everyone.
Nebraska Senator Ben Sasse, a Republican who's frequently at odds with the administration, says the White House's internal conflicts are draining the presidency.
If you're worried that the president is too impulsive and paranoid, then how can this op-ed do anything other than drive more paranoia?
Senator Sasse urged the White House to set aside what he called its reality show drama and focus on what's good for the country. DeMarco Morgan, CBS News, New York.
More on the fallout from the New York Times op-ed just ahead at 5:30 on the CBS Weekend News.
LA Chargers fans were definitely ready for some football today.
Let's go, baby. Chargers. Woo!
Chargers!
Woo! Yeah!
Chargers fans were loud and proud, as you just heard, as the team kicked off its season opener in Carson.
Yes, I'm so excited for them to start. They're going to beat KC, no doubt.
Very excited. We came from San Diego. Hey, go Chargers!
Fans were also treated to a flyover and fireworks before kickoff. Greg Wolf will have more on the Chargers home opener and the rest of the day's sports in just a few minutes.
Dallas police confirmed the name of the officer who was shot and killed, a man in his own apartment. That as the community mourns the victim. The latest on the investigation into the controversial shooting.
And a push to end distracted driving. The Auto Club teams up with the LAPD for an event in downtown LA.